helping people in the tech industry is just more like you're helping yourself because you don't know what opportunity might come for you later on.
In today's episode, I'm talking to Opemipo Disu, an 18-year-old developer advocate and keynote speaker who's already spoken at more than 100 tech conferences. Even at such a young age, Opemipo has been recognized as an IBM champion for developers, a Couchbase champion, and a Bitrise expert. He was even nominated for the Forbes 30 Under 30 Awards in Technology for Africa. In this episode, we talk about the importance of having a strong work ethic, helping others by contributing to communities, leveraging your network when looking for a new job, and much more. It was great to speak to somebody in such an early stage of their career and bringing a different perspective to things. So I very much hope you enjoy listening into this episode. Hello, I'm your host Phil Burgess, and welcome to episode 355 of the IT Career Energizer podcast. Joining me today is Opemipo Disu. So, welcome to the podcast, Opemipo.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me here. I'm very excited to be here, and looking forward to sharing my experience with you and the other people listening to this podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm delighted you could join me on the podcast. So it's really good to talk to people at your stage of your career as well and get a bit of an insight from you. So maybe we can start there. So could you maybe give me a bit of an understanding or give everybody an understanding of your background and how you got interested and into IT and technology?
Yeah. I started with a very clear mind without any bias or misconception. I started, listening to stories when I was 11. That was about 7 years ago. I started listening to stories of successful people in the tech industry. At the point, was really I found some really fascinating, like the stories of Mark Zuckerberg and just so many other successful people in tech, and took inspiration from some people who were at the top level of the career at the point, and I mean, they're my friends now. So this was just like a source of inspiration. And thereafter, I took up a programming language called VB.net, and Visual Basic. So I took that, and then since then, it's just all been very good. When I was using VB.net, I, built a couple of, not a couple, but like a bunch of applications, just like media player, like the quadratic equation solver. I was really doing so many things at that point, and I just wanted to keep doing my thing and just developing software applications. But after then, I got into web. I got into different aspects of technology and explored different parts. So I mean, I'm still on the run. I'm still having my journey well, but I'm also open to learning because yeah, I don't think I have enough experience yet, even if I have a 7 year career already.
Yes, I mean for someone so young to have a 7-year career already, that's quite something. So I think I did a bit of understanding about your background as well, and I know you've been featured on in media in the past. So could you maybe give us an understanding of how that came about?
Yes, I mean, it all started when I was an IBM champion. When I was an IBM champion, a lot of people noticed me, then noticed my work, my contributions in the IBM community, and yes, I had like my very first media feature in a very popular blog in Nigeria at the year called Legends.ng. And the same here, I got interviewed by, TV stations like Channels TV here. And they also had like some collaboration with BBC and just so many more. And yeah, so since then, I feel like it's all been good. Yeah.
I know it's obviously early in your career, but maybe you can share a career tip, something that you've learnt that maybe the audience could benefit from.
I think the only one I can give any young person or anybody listening to me is having the best work ethic, like putting in so much work, and definitely people would notice you, ensure you have all these achievements together, because if you don't, I don't think anybody would get to realize you are doing like great work for the community. Try to help people, and yeah, helping people in the tech industry is just more like you're helping yourself, because you don't know what opportunity might come for you later on. Maybe it's contributing in a to an open source community or something else. I mean, whatever, just helping people is just the main thing.
Yes, it sounds like a bit of a combination of things. You're contributing as part of a community, but by doing that, you're broadening your network and getting to know more people.
Yep. Yep. I don't think I would be here today without the connections I have. Yeah, I think that's just key. I think like that's just been the most key stuff in my career. Even most of the jobs I've gotten in my career, I mean every single job I've gotten in my career are just basically from one-on-one connections, or maybe me talking to the person or something else, not by application. So I think like connection is key, especially when you want to get to the top level of your career. So yes.
I think that leads on very nicely to the next question. So, can you maybe tell us about your career highlights so far?
Yes, first one is being an IBM champion. I was super excited. I definitely can't forget that day when I was an IBM champion. When I got the email to be, I mean, that I am an IBM champion, that was in 2020. Um I also getting to the well, also getting the media feature for the first time was something I really found like amazing. And my first in-person award, I mean, I was so excited in Lagos, Nigeria here. I was very excited. As well as becoming rising IBM champion for 2024. Got a couple of badges, and then got that award. I was so excited also. So I feel basically those were, I think this had just like my major career highlights. Yeah, and I'm happy to do more.
Yes, that's very impressive so far, I have to say. And obviously, there are always highs and lows in people's careers. So, do you have any sort of worst moments that you could share?
Yes, that was when I got laid off last year. Um, from Premium, of course, there was just not enough of resources, but I understand. Um, I loved the company so much. I still do love them, but then we're no more together, and it was just all downhill last year. And I had a couple of months like I stayed off my career to focus on so many other things in life, and so it just wasn't the best moment for me. So I feel, yeah, that's just the major down moment of my career. So yeah.
So, what do you think you learnt from that experience?
Yes, I don't think anything because I wasn't, it wasn't my fault. They just did not have the resources to support me, and I feel like they made the best decision also. So I don't think I don't think anything, to be honest.
The thing you took away from it is that you did understand that it wasn't your fault and it was circumstances more than anything else.
Yes.
Yeah. And could you maybe tell me about what you think is exciting about the future of technology and what it means for people with careers in tech?
Yes, I mean, what is exciting for the future of technology, right? So we have like different innovations right now, like AI, the blockchain. Although I'm not so invested in blockchain as AI, so I feel that these are tools like I mean, especially AI. This is a tool we definitely could apply in every sector, be it education, be it um agriculture, be it a different career, not necessarily technology. And I feel like the future is gonna be like very great with these tools, and just and one certain thing I actually think most humans really have is they feel AI is gonna replace them. they have this misconception, but I don't think so, to be very honest. It's not going to be that way because I don't think certainly anything can replace humans or efficiency to do stuff. The efforts we put into stuff, like definitely if it's human, you know, as much as we have like humanized AI models, it can't replace humans, to be very honest with you. So yeah, this is just the basic thing I feel about this part, and I definitely related to the future.
So I think it sounds like you view AI as a tool for people rather than it being something that replaces people.
Yes, yes, I feel so. It's just made for people, made to make the work accessible, easy for people to do, and yeah.
Just a brief interruption to ask you if you can think of one other person that would benefit from becoming a listener of the show. It would be fantastic if you could share this episode with them. The objective of the show has always been to help as many people as possible in developing and building successful careers in tech. So by sharing this episode with one other person, you'll be contributing to achieving that objective. And please remember to follow or subscribe to the podcast in your podcast app. Right, we're going to go into the reveal round now. We're going to find out a little bit more about you and the way you think. So, are you ready for this?
Yeah, sure. I'm definitely ready, 100%.
So, what first attracted you to a career in IT?
Yes, like I said earlier on, fascinating stories of people I've seen and heard of. For example, Mark Zuckerberg. My major inspiration then was Bill Gates. I was trying to look into what these people actually did in the early years of their career, and I found out it was something related to what I would love to do, tech, and trying to make education very much accessible to people with the use of technology. Yeah, so this is what got me really interested in the world of IT, and yeah.
And what is the best career advice you've ever received?
Yes, just to do things because I'm passionate about them, not to look sideways because of, we have side attractions like money, fame, some things. So I feel I've always had passion, but at some point I almost gave up to look somewhere else, like to look at money and all sort of, other sort of side attractions. So my mentors at the point called me aside to push and yeah, to push more and then put in so much more work and then yeah, do things because I'm passionate about them.
And maybe a slightly more difficult question to answer, but what is the worst career advice you've ever heard?
I don't think I've ever received any worst, any bad career advice because, um, try to stay away from negative stuff. I don't really talk to people much. So I don't really think I've received any bad career advice so far.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. Um,
Yeah.
this next question is a little bit different. I think I might sort of rephrase it slightly. So, um, if you were to, I mean, if you were to look at your career and maybe if you were going to start your career now, what would you start focusing on?
Yeah, very important question. I feel like I've started looking at web directly, what I'm doing now because I feel the web is actually it's very, very wide, and I could have just gone for what I wanted without, exploring different parts, without exploring different parts and doing nothing in those parts. So I feel like I should have just been more direct in my career earlier on. And this is something I would love to do if I actually, start all over again. But I mean, we learn every time, so I'm happy to learn. I'm sure some things I do now, I would look back at this stage in the future and want to change my mind again. So That's how life really is.
It is, and I think technology in particular enables us to do that because it's
Yeah,
always changing.
yeah, exactly.
And what are you focusing on in your career and now? What are your objectives?
Yeah, my major objective is to make it, the web very much, I mean, web technology is more accessible, and to keep building products like, making stuff like very easy for people to use. Um, yeah, sometimes I get contracted to, do some work. There are some works, I mean, I've done, there are some projects I've worked on, and people are not aware I, worked on them. So I I'm very excited to keep doing more of all these things, and accessibility is the thing. I can't expect everybody to, be so technical, and I just want to make the best out of, the resources or, knowledge I have.
And what's the number one non-technical skill that you rely on the most?
Would I say technical writing, because that's still technical, but I think marketing. I mean, technical marketing. Also, I feel like that's still under um, you know, technical stuff. But I don't think there is any. I don't think so.
And what do you do to keep your career and yourself energized?
Yes, sometimes I look at my friends. I have a certain friend whose name is Tanmi Bakshi, and I look at his past achievements. I watch his videos, past videos. I try to look at fascinating stories to keep me energized, because I feel um I get my inspirations from these sources, and yeah, I'm 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 just really always excited seeing, people do stuff like great stuff, and that really inspires me to keep going.
And what do you do in your spare time away from technology?
Yes, I'm a fan of football. I'm a fan of Real Madrid football club. So I watch football. I talk to my friends. I think I have a very boring life. I write code during the weekends also. So I'll also listen to music. So I barely watch movies. I think that's just all. I also play football. Yeah, so that's all. Pretty much everything.
Can you share a parting piece of career advice?
Yes, definitely. If you're looking for jobs, leverage on your communications, or your connections with people. This is very key, because you never can tell who is going to help you. Personally, I have received my all my jobs from, people, having one-on-one conversations with people, and I'm sharing this to get people aware that, this really happens, and it's a thing you could do when you're looking for a job, or, some opportunity.
And how can we find out more about you and connect with you?
You can connect with me on Discord. I feel like I'm best active there. Um, Also, apart from Discord, you can also connect with me on Twitter, Coda of Lagos on Discord and on Twitter. I mean, CODEROFLAGOS. So these are my handles, or LinkedIn, Opemipo Disu on LinkedIn. So I'm excited. I'm hoping to having, like, any questions.
Opemipo, thank you so much for joining me on the podcast. It's been great listening to you and learning about your career.
Yeah, sure. Thank you too for having me, and I'm always excited to, share my experience with people. Thank you very much.
You've been listening to Phil Burgess and Opemipo Disu on the IT Career Energizer podcast. You'll find a link to the show notes in the episode description, or you can just visit itcareerenergizer.com/E355. Thank you so much for listening. I'm your host, Phil Burgess, and I'll catch you in the very next episode.